Good morning, everyone. Today we will see how to manage our card game and split it into multiple collections, which we call decks, for our card game. So basically, everything to manage here would be on the rail below. It's like the sheets in Sheet or Excel. We have the default one will be always all cards. This basically will list all the cards that we have. And if we have any decks or collections, it would have this extra column to present each card which deck it's part of. For example, this card, it's part of the starter deck. It can be part of more than one deck or not at all. So this is for the all cards section, and any section after it is, or sheet we can call it, is basically another deck. Here, as you can see, we have 22 cards, and here we have only 19 of the cards are part of the starter deck. Each deck has also its own unique property, which is called quantity, which is basically the number of each copy or each card, how many of it is in this deck. For example, now it's 1. We can make it more if we want to, which we will benefit from later if we wanted to export, print, or even playtest. We just need to edit this property right here. Of course, any of these property can be easily hidden by clicking it, the column of the sheet, and can view everything from here, which we will come in a second. So that's for the starter deck. This is also another deck. It has only one card. Any card that we will add for any of the collections or decks that we have will be automatically added to all card sheet. So the last thing is, when we want to create a new deck, we will just go to the plus sign here. We would type any name, and we have an option to automatically add all the cards that we have to this collection, which we can toggle or not, and then we can create. And this is an empty view. We can start adding cards or go to the all cards tab that we have. Of course, it came here in this order. We can just drag it to put it in the order that we want. Start adding cards here normally. To edit any of the cards in any deck or all the cards, we just can select any number that we want, go to options, and we can here duplicate, set the status, which is also another column that we can toggle. We can export just that number of cards, or we can delete. When we delete, of course, we have the options either to just remove them from the deck or just delete the cards permanently, which we will do here. And let's say, for example, want to go for the cards that I have of type space and put them in their own deck. Let me go for the other one. This is, for example, a 1, and this I can go to options, or not from options, I can go here and just change the deck from starter, or I can keep them in starter and put them also in expansion pack. For example, I can do the same here and here. And now when I go to expansion pack, I have these cards, and as you can see here, we have a property called power, which is basically the icons here. Each card has an icon or number of icons for its abilities, and the space card does not have it. So one convenient thing that we can do is just hiding this column, or even better, go to this view, which is specific to each sheet, and just hide the column from there. And now the column is hidden in this collection or deck for the spaces because we don't have power, but here it exists because we need it. The power is clearly represented here. I can do even the same thing for the ability because spaces do not have an ability. And for example, I can hide this property color. We are not using it yet. And now I have a clean sheet for each type of card that I have, or each deck or collection. Of course, we have the options to sort the cards based on any property that we want. We can also optionally toggle one of the columns that we have by default, which is a status, if we want to track the status of the cards that we have. And finally, we can change the view to make it more compact or more spacious. Now for the last part, let's say now I want to export only these cards. I can just go from this tab. I am in the expansion pack tab. I can just go and export it. For example, for PDF sheet, it will export them only. I can also go to playtesting in the play table and only choose the decks that I want. I can choose here the collection that I want to play with, for example, only this one, I can put more than one collection of it in the field and just start playing. Now I can just test these cards standalone. Also, if I change here in the number of quantities for each card, let's say we will have 3 of these, 4 of this, I can just go and have them here also in export or the play table instead of just having many columns for the same card. And that concludes how to manage and split the card game that we have into collection. If you have any question, you can always reach us support. We will see every message, and thank you.